Previously on Automotive Tales.
And then, oh yeah, and then just as quickly, yeah, lovely.
And, just like that, there is no play in the bearing. Job's a good one. Hello and welcome back to Automotive Tales. So you join me back in the fake Fiesta. We are here to do another one of the many jobs that need doing ahead of Festival of the Unexceptional, and today's job is tyres. Now, while this car passed its MOT, it has got 4 tyres with good tread from a good brand. They've clearly been on the car for a very long time, so the sidewalls are quite heavily perished. So while it's technically fine to pass an MOT, it's not really acceptable, especially as the intention is to sell the car at the end of the challenge. So today we're going off to see our friendly tyre fitter Z over in Tamworth, and we're going to put 4 brand spanking new tyres on the car, which is all within budget. So we're going to have a car that still is in budget, but is mechanically sorted all the way through. So when it comes to selling it, I can sell it with peace of mind that whoever takes this car on has got a car that is mechanically sound, even if it is a little cosmetically not so good. So, little road trip ahead, let's go. Made it to Tamworth in the mighty Mazda. So now it's time to take the wheels off and get the tyres changed. However, you might notice something behind me. So when we left, it was raining. It's now glorious sunshine as usual for British summer. I tried wiping the rear windscreen. Didn't go well. So I slightly ballsed up my timing. So unfortunately, he hasn't got time to do it this afternoon. It is now, I mean, it's 6:30, to be fair to him. So we're going to leave the car here. He's going to chuck the tyres on in the morning, have a look at the tracking, make sure that's all okay for us. But figured out the wiper issue. So there isn't actually a problem with the wiper motor, but as the Mazda has this little Mazda branded spoiler on here.
Oh, little cool things on the Mazda. Check this out. The spoiler is actually a proper Mazda branded, not a Ford branded one. And it was made by Zender for Mazda. How cool is that?
And this is the right wiper for a Mark IV Fiesta. It's actually slightly too long, and what's happened is it's gone up here and it's got wedged underneath the spoiler at sort of that angle, and as soon as I lifted the spoiler it shot back down again. So hopefully it's not burnt the motor out, but it did go back down. So I think I need to find a slightly shorter wiper so it doesn't do that. I'm presuming this is a Mazda only part on that basis. But it's a little strange quirk of the Mazda, because I don't think the Mark IV Fiestas have this little spoiler. So yeah, it's kind of a fixed but not fixed problem. So, due to my timing mishap, we didn't get to film the tyres going on, but look what we have. We have nice fresh rubber. So we've got a set of 4 Toyo 155 7013 75T brand spanking new tyres on the fake Fiesta. So it is pretty much ready, apart from the fact the bodywork is a mess. So yeah, that's the final, or almost the final, major job to do. We are shod front and rear with nice tyres, no perished sidewalls. Get in. So one of the remaining jobs to do on the fake Fiesta is to replace this rather crusty looking belt. So you can see it's all splitting on the V's there on the back of the belt. So we have got a new one. I can see I've already got the spanners in. Before I go ahead and loosen that and pop the belt off, what I need to do is just work out where that belt goes to make sure I can get it back on the right way around. So I have a pad, I have a pen. I'm just going to sketch out the direction of that belt. So when it comes to putting it back on, if I'm struggling a bit, I won't forget which way round it goes. Right, so there we go, we've drawn it out. It's a bit of a strange arrangement for the 4 main rotating parts and the 2 idlers. But that is quite useful because that's not how I would necessarily have expected it to be running. So now it's time to detension the tensioner, whip this belt off and fit the new one. And there we have it, belt out. So I had to take this little cover off that goes over the pulley on the power steering pump. So it's 2 8mm bolts, one down by the power steering line, one right on the top that's dead easy to get to. And then 15mm spanner on the tensioner with a 14mm spanner hooked over just to give me the leverage. So now I've got to feed the new one back in following the path of this, which is going to be interesting. After a short fight, because this is a fiddly old set of belt directions, we finally got it on. So I got it around the top pulley here and then used the tensioner to release enough slack to get over this idler here. My original plan was to get it over everything and then release the tension to get it over this pulley, but that's just too tricky with trying to detension the tensioner and move this over. So having your hands already down there to hold the tensioner while pushing the belt over at that end seems to be the way forward. So the next thing to try is if the engine will turn over and not throw the belt off. But first, dinner time. So I've quickly checked the alignment, so now it's time to start the car, and hopefully you're not going to see a belt come flying out. So fingers crossed. So, car is all back together, job is a good one. So I thought I'd collect all the bits of detritus that have been floating around the car as I've fixed various things, just to get an idea of how much we've actually done on this car. So we've got some of the electric switches we've replaced, we've got the little resistor pack thing for the fans, wiper blades and all the connectors, boot struts, the belt, which is, I mean that is absolutely toast. So yeah. And all within budget, including the tyres as well. So I think that, all in all, is mechanically the mighty Mazda done. The only thing left for the fake Fiesta now is to make it look a little less pink and a bit more red, which it's supposed to be. Interestingly, fun fact for you, these bumpers are supposed to be grey, so the bumpers haven't actually faded that much. You see the black insert, so they were grey with a black insert originally. So I don't need to back to black the bumpers, which is what everybody said I need to do. But I definitely need to do something about the red, or what was red. So, final piece of the puzzle for the fake Fiesta. We're going to give it a clean. So I've done all the mechanical work on it, I've driven the car around, got used to it, but I've yet to actually throw a bucket of water over it. Now clearly this paintwork needs a lot of attention because it's very heavily faded, which we're not going to do today because it's about 38 degrees C and polish and bright sunlight don't really go together. However, as it's not had a bath yet, I'm going to throw a bucket of water over it, see what it comes out like. So first things first, I'm going to close the window. I'm then going to get the hose pipe, which has been lying out in the sun, to give me a free bucket of hot water, and we're going to give the car a wash. So let's see how it goes and see whether the car comes clean or I melt first, whichever. Right, let's go. Well, as you can see, it's basically made no difference whatsoever. I am, at some point, when there's not wasps around and it's not quite so damn warm, going to have a go at cleaning the interior and maybe having another proper go at it rather than just a bucket and sponge. But I think I need a bit of help with this. Next time on Automotive Tales.
We've got some confidence. We're not,
Oh, yeah, okay.
we're not sending you off
We
on
aren't
your own.
doing a brake test, so hopefully you won't be a crash test dummy.
They are always
You just